Hey, it's Christopher James with All Things Branson. We're back with Phil Hughes from the Showboat Branson Bell, Ventriloquist. And this is your first year here in Branson. Have you been to Branson before you came?
Not since I was a kid, many
you came when
years
you were a
ago.
little kid.
Yeah,
What-
and we just Lake of the Ozarks, basically. So
Yeah.
never really experienced much of Branson itself,
Did you go to anything when you were here as a kid, like Silver Dollar City or anything?
I vaguely remember as a very young child driving through here and seeing that, but that's it.
See, I had no idea what Branson was.
But I didn't remember. I mean, that was, I'm, 20 now? I mean, that's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time. I'll be 51 next month, so it's been a number of years.
That?
So, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I had never heard of it, and they called me. Jim called me.
That's how it happened to me.
Yeah, our producer. Yeah. And I had never heard of it. My wife is like, what is Branson? Because we still had answering machine then,
Oh,
so
yeah.
she came home, listened to the answering machine. She's like, what is a Branson? And I'm like, a Branson? I don't know what a Branson is. What are you talking about? Has me listen to it, and I'm like, Richard Branson? Like Richard, like Virgin. Oh, my God. I told my friends, I think I'm going to do a show for Richard Branson. I had no idea. No clue. And the very first day I came down, which the noon show here used to start in April. So I came down in April, and the very first thing I did, I got to town and went to the Presley show.
Oh, wow.
That was the very first show I saw. And I love the Presley show. Sure. I know them and stuff. But I went there, and I was moving here from New York, and I called my agent during intermission and said, what did you do? Where am I? I don't do anything like this. I'm going to be fired in a week. So did you come down early? Did you and your wife check it out? Or?
We came down in October of last year to meet. Jim called me out of the blue. One night, I was getting ready to leave the next day for a ship. Had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to fly to Vancouver to get on a ship and take it to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So I was going to have all sea days, and it was the night before. He calls, left 2 messages, and I got a couple emails. And I'm out to dinner with my wife, and I'm like, they want me to do something in Branson, Missouri. And so I was like, I text him, or I wrote him back and said, hey, I'm out to dinner with my wife. I have to get up in the morning, but I'll call you when I get back or tonight by 11 o'clock. He said, yeah, go ahead and call. He missed my call. So I wrote him back. I said, well, if we can talk through email. I've got email on the ship. So all the way across to Hawaii, Jim and I were talking back and forth, and we arranged for me to come out in October.
Yeah.
So I met in October, came out.
I think I remember.
Yeah,
you
I
came and
out.
did a little showcase show.
I did a show on. They wanted to see. It's interesting here. It's not as much. They knew my show already. They'd seen what I did. They liked it, but they also want to make sure that the people mesh, that you can get along, and they don't want someone who's just going to be a real jerk to deal with, I think. And
yeah, right.
so I came in, I met everyone, I did a show in the noon show.
Yeah.
And we had a great time.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, some of the techs had already invited themselves for Thai food to our house by that.
Well,
that
I
day.
seem to remember you telling everyone about how great your
My wife
was.
cooks.
Because I saw you, and that was one of the first things. My wife is an amazing Thai cook.
I don't know
She
how
liked
we
Thai
got
food.
into that. Yeah, but everybody
Which
here seems
I
to like
have
Thai food. It's
yet
wonderful.
to have.
Well, we brought it to the showboat, but you were in the
was
other
not
show.
here, apparently.
We'll have to get it for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I remember when you came down and did that, and did the little showcase and stuff like that. And that was kind of fun. It was interesting, and it's neat for me because I get to see all the acts that come in. But you're right. Like, they want somebody that isn't just a great talent, but that meshes, because we have a very unique venue.
It is very unique.
And you're kind of lucky because your cast has 4 features.
Yes.
Where we have, what do we have, 12 people?
You have a big group,
A big group in there, and not including the band, of course.
Right.
But you have to get along because people don't realize we're on a boat for like 3 or 4 hours together, and you have to get along.
And there's not much room backstage. People don't realize. They see this nice, big, beautiful boat, and it's gorgeous. There's not much room backstage.
Not much more than this little canopy.
No,
that we're under.
So we have to live in this small space, and you have to get along.
Yeah, people come back after the show and they ask Cassandra all the time, how many people do you have backstage dressing you guys? And she says, it's just me. And no one ever believes her.
No.
And we try to tell them it's like the size of this picnic table.
It is, yeah, it's small.
Like, seriously. Yeah. So you came down, you did that, and so you get away from cruise ships for a little bit now. But like me, I'm sure, during off-season, because you have a longer off-season than I do.
I have 6 months.
Yeah, that's what I used to have. Because I was in the noon show for a while.
Right,
For a long while, like for 5 years. And it was great because I could do this, then I would go back and do cruise ships. But my first 2 years, I said, I'm going to take a break from ships. I was tired of traveling, like we discussed. And I said, I'm going to cut back. So then the third year I went back to ships, and the cruise director came to me and the producer came to me and said, you can do jokes and stuff that the adults will get too. They thought I was doing like a very tamed down act.
Okay.
Because Branson is, you have to keep it really clean.
Of course you do.
You have to keep it really general for people.
Right.
And it was quite a shock, actually, going back and doing the cruise ships and stuff. So do you think it'll be weird when you go back this year?
No, I don't think I'd been at it long enough here to adjust that much, and I'm only doing 15 minutes here.
Yeah, and you swear like crazy.
Oh,
during
yeah.
the act.
I mean, oh, my gosh. You
we
bet.
We beeped you more than R2-D2.
It won't be too bad. I have to go back and work on one character that I haven't used for almost 6 months now.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think you have to remember how your whole act went together as a 55-minute show versus a 15-minute show. Mm-hmm. That'll be different.
It is very different. But as Todd Oliver was here for years with me, 10 or 12 years, he told me even something you don't really enjoy doing, you'll get very, very good at on the showboat because you do it so much. Yeah. And you do it for so many different kinds of audiences. Yeah. I used to change my act throughout the year, but this year I decided to keep it pretty much the same and just adjust it as we went along.
Yeah, I've just been tweaking it as it goes along, and I've loved that because every day it feels like Christmas to come in and go, what can I do today? And then it just keep making it a little bit better and better just by minor tweaks.
Yeah.
And I've loved what's happened to it. It's been a lot of fun.
See, I think you're like me. Like, prior to this year, well, let me put it this way. This year, I really look forward to coming in and working with the audiences because I tried some new stuff beginning of the year, a lot more improv in the show for me. So every show is different, and I actually get excited, like, oh, yeah, it's about time to go on stage.
Yeah,
like I look forward to it.
I have so much fun. Every morning I joke and tell my friends, it's like Christmas morning. Every morning I get to get up and go to do a show.
Things.
I love it. Yeah, unwrap a show.
Yeah,
it's true.
You never know what's going to happen
because
sometimes you come out and you have an audience that's been carted around town all day.
Oh yeah,
seeing so many different shows, or you'll have a high school group, or you never know what you're going to have.
Right.
It's really, and I'm lucky I get to do the pre-show, so I get a little.
You can figure out what they're like easily. Yeah, I sit out and watch the pre-show to see what they're like.
Do you?
Yeah.
I kind of miss being in your position. My first year, I was the feature, so I would do my 15 or 20 minutes, and it was nice.
Oh yeah, nice. I have the easiest gig on this in our show.
You do?
Oh yeah,
like, seriously. You have what I did my first year, and I used to joke around because I did the same schedule as you, and I lived where you live.
Okay.
And I would say to my wife, I'd say, I'll be back. I'm just going to run and do the show real quick. It was like running to go to Walmart or something. Because you just come, you'd hang out, you'd do 20 minutes and be back. Sometimes I wouldn't even shut the TV and stuff off. And you'd have every evening free.
Oh, that's been fantastic.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
I don't get to go to shows.
No, you don't. Yeah.
No. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, when we come back, I want to talk to you about your experience going around in Branson.
Okay.
And what you've noticed and what you enjoy about Branson. So we'll be right back with Phil Hughes. Thank you for supporting All Things Branson. Be sure to subscribe and stay in touch on Facebook and Twitter. Check back at allthingsbranson.com for the latest news about Branson, Missouri.